This is it. I don't know if we're going to be completely alone, but there's a good chance. I'll go get set up and we'll see what kind of video we can make. Big target. I got my table. I figured just bring everything. That way the accuracy won't be in question. Will be just like home. Rifles over there. Am I gonna shoot up this track way up there, set up in the shade and see how much. I hope this is long enough for 50 yards, otherwise we can back up. There's way more space than that, but it's in the sun after that. So I was gonna see first if we can fit into the shade. There's no neighbors out here, so this is perfect. I'll start my measuring tape, I guess. Put my table out here and measure from there. Good afternoon, airgun friends. Sorry for the long intros. This is more of a setup than I had in mind. I knew coming out was going to be complicated, but I wanted to do it. So here we have 25 yards, and up the hill we have markers every 5 yards until we get to 50 yards. So I'm going to start with some 25-yard target work and then increase 5 yards per sticker just to get to the spread with some budget ammo. And then we're going to do some groups with a couple of pellets. I just don't believe in so much pellet testing because you gotta reload the barrel 5 or 6 shots sometimes in between. So I'm gonna keep the selection short. And those 4 blue targets we're gonna save for 50 yards, and those red targets at the top are gonna be for doing some reloading, just to see when things start to straighten out. So I'm just gonna do this homework first, and then we'll do these together. How about that? So that you don't have to climb up the hill with me the whole time. We'll just do the interesting stuff. Meanwhile, I'll just relax and maybe have my lunch in between. And I got just enough length in that shade over there. I'm just starting to sweat a bit from all this setup. Here's our tool for today. Beeman Black Panther from Canadian Tire. So don't take this as a direct reference, because I've completely redone this trigger to have a different angle of attack. It's got a better reach from the grip. It's kind of a custom freehand sculpting job of the same kind of pot metal that they had for this, but maybe a little bit better quality. It's not molded, it's really chiseled out of a piece of white brass and adjusted to be pretty sharp. And this trigger, the barrel is as an best say this as an integrated muzzle brake, drilled right out of the existing barrel for accuracy. So it'll be different from a stock beeman. At 25 yards, I'd say it's about 3 to 3.5 times more accurate than how it was out of the box. Also, sound wise, spring is cut in this one. About 6 coils got removed, and the detuning hole in the piston is plugged, compensated by removing some spring. So it's not at all what it used to be. But anyway, just to have a point about taking whatever you can at Canadian Tire and bringing it to 50 yards. I'm not going to get many chances to come do this. So let's push it all the way, I guess. Okay. To the control shooting. It'll be with some spot-ons. Then the 50 yards, when we get there, we got JSB, we got Super Budget Grizzly, and we got Ultra Heavy Crossman, which are pretty good quality compared to other Crossman domes and wad cutters, and I mean domes and hollow points, I should have said. Okay, I've just had a piece of my sandwich. I feel good. I'm gonna go do this. I mean, it's pretty good. I had to switch chairs. I brought this. That did not work. I borrowed this. It's better. It's just a touch low. So I've been practicing getting more comfortable. The more groups I went, the better it got. And I'm at 45. Let me walk you up there. Okay, so we were shooting for 50, but that was really just a number like that. Right, so like I said, the chair wasn't comfortable. My first shot of all is here. Then I figured out my levels and whatnot. Started shooting 25 yards, minus this one. Then 30 yards, let a couple slip, still on 0. 35 yards, I got 2 of these flyers at 35 yards. I was shooting 4 here, it was going great. Then I lost it. I didn't think about it too much and it was coming back. So that's still well, it's an inch and a half at 35 yards. And then at 40, everything came clear. 40 was my magic number. One flyer that was not me. It's just a flyer. They're cheap pellets. So that's 40. And 45. And here I was lifting 1 mil dot. And here I was looking for it. Lifting 2 mil dots, 3 mil dots. 3 sent me there. 2 floated me around here. But it's lost there. 45. I tried taking a group here, minus 2 mil dots, and see what we have. So we're going to take it from here. We'll put a group of these pellets and a group of the other kinds of pellets with some leading in between. So let's go put up the camera tripod. Okay, so obviously we're pushing it at 45 yards for a Canadian Tire Springer. Well, we're doing good at 40. I mean, like, a change of pellet, more practice, we're doing real good at 40. That's what I call promising grouping, like to keep practicing over. But let's push it. Let's make it spread at 45. And maybe we'll get a surprise from the pellets. Because you might see a bigger, reaction to the switch. Still, 45, 120, 135 feet, 135 feet. Whoop, one thing to load it, you gotta cork it. Take this here, just so that we're interacting a little bit, and the rest, since these are the opening cheap pellets, and the rest will go down there. So spot on, match, 15 grain, wad cutters. Those are the first one. Going on minus 2 mil dots, and I'm gonna actually I try to aim for the sticker. Minus 2 mil dots, and I gotta pull left 1 mil dot also. Like it's really field. It's field shooting. We're not readjusting every time. So up 2, over 1. It went for the elevation of the crosshairs. Never shot this distance. We're gonna stick to it. Up 2, over 1. See, that was on the sticker, almost close anyway. Okay, so that first one is that's the rifle sitting on the table. The spring got cold. Cold spring snaps more. First shot, always a bit more FPS. That's why you never count the first shot when you do target work. So technically we're good. Up to over 1. Can't, can't. Oh wow, that was a huge flyer low and left. Low and left. Low FPS. And left drag. When you lose FPS, your pellet always drags left. If you see something left or something low, or the combination of both, the slow pellet. Yeah, okay, back up to the crosshairs again. These pellets have a spread of 2 mil dots at 45 yards now. They're staying on the windage. It's at there. These are smaller FPS variations, not a huge loss like that previous one. Okay, and now we're back to that elevation. Alright, I'll put one more down for this pellet that tells me pretty much what I need to know. 5 yards closer, these pellets were relatively still together. -2 over 1. Stayed with the -2. Actually touched the sticker. Alright, so we got something to work with. Next, we're gonna go to the other cheap pellet. Why not? This will be a Grizzly 14.2 grain, more wad cutters. I know everybody's gonna tell me not to use wad cutters and all that. I know. I don't necessarily adhere to the round pellet better trajectory theory. Not all out, not just like as fact. I like wad cutters. Anyway, Grizzlies, and you're gonna witness that one down there. Hi Pumbaa, how are you? He's a good boy. Wow, he's a good boy. Yes, you stay out of the range, eh? Yes. It's okay. We're gonna keep it succinct because I don't want to run out of storage. So that was my practice zeroing for here. And you can see how we clearly have a split in elevation on those wad cutters. If they were all together here, we could work with that. At 45 yards, it would start being still an interesting group. Okay, I'm gonna take a few leadings here and the grizzlies there. I'll be right back. I got up and down this hill a couple of times today. All right, get this going. Okay, okay, so weird, but then super interesting. I thought I was dealing with 2 mil dots from the bottom and 2 mil dots to the left. And that's what I took to this. And you see, it wasn't necessary. I ended it with just 2 mil dots from the bottom, 2 mil dots higher. It's always confusing. 2 mil dots down on my crosshairs. And we have an interesting growth. This is pretty interesting. We're at 45 yards inside of, these are an inch. These look like an inch and a quarter with the blue line. And this looks like not quite 2 inches, right? Too bad I don't have a tape measure with me. That's why I have these references. Yeah, I'm going to say this is 2 green stickers. That's 2 inches at 45 yards. That is still worth shooting. Alright, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to edit what I have together, flush the raw video, make more room on my phone, and we'll be right back in the next cut. JSB exact, same deal. We're going to lead here, and we're going to shoot here. See you, well, you won't feel it, but I'll be on break. Yeah, it's a nice day for this. And there's blackberries out here. Yeah, nice blackberries. I'm kind of all over this piece of the range. My legs are my legs are torn up. Torn up. I had my rubber boots, but I didn't bring them up here. Exactly for this. But it was only like 6 feet of blackberries. They still got me. Anyway, hey, I'm wasting camera time. Sorry, I'm so excited. I'm having a good time. Honestly, I thought I'd be just spreading 8 inches of everything. So I got my leading done on the JSB. JSB coming right up. Crossman ultra heavy. We're gonna go back to back. You're not gonna see the leading of the JSBs because that doesn't help you any. And I'm gonna cut this to a short group so we can at the end we're gonna have a winner. We're gonna take it back to 40 yards. I still have some stickers at the bottom. We'll take our best pellet. We're gonna take a winning group at 40 yards because it seems to be its accuracy limit, unless we find something at 45. I don't think the JSBs are gonna be it. All right, I'll be down there. Wow, 19 grains, super heavy, ultra heavy. I tried, see, I was here in 2 inches, a cleaner group than my grizzlies. I tried compensating to bring it over on the sticker. I went too far left, just for twisting it just a little bit. So what do you think? Who's the winner? So spot on match, up to 40 yards, workable. Past 40 yards, forget it. Grizzlies, man, grizzlies at 45 yards. What a surprise. You lose some, bad flyer low and left, but the price is so good on these pellets. JSB, consistent, a bit all around the sticker. I knew they'd be like that. JSBs and my breakers are either left or either right. They tend to do that. I think the head size is a bit small. And well, I think that's our winner. Oh, really? Stack 3 or 4 together at 45 yards. So we're gonna do a 40-yard shot group. I got stickers left. We're gonna go straight to the ultra heavy, and then we're gonna do a 40-yard of these grizzlies because they're really surprising. Well, we did it. We came out, we did it. We did a ton of shooting. I'm actually tired of shooting. I'm actually shooting kind of crappy. Alright, there's our head-to-head final. I had to... Oh, I'm gonna scrunch down over here. I had to mess around a bit with my ultra heavies. Tilting the rifle down, of course, changes the curve. I was looking for it. But we managed some pretty tight shots. That was all messing about. And that's a flyer of this. Those are the 5 shots of the group and 1 flyer off by about 2 inches. Otherwise, we're pretty much on target. And our grizzlies kept their mess. They didn't really tighten at 40. Grizzlies at 40, but I'm also tired. I mean, after all these shots, I can't tell anymore. The slight twitch at this range will mess up your shot. But to remember, the ultra heavies, they can definitely do better if I focus on these. The spot on match at 40 were also quite interesting. Even if you lose 1 or 2 at this range, I mean, there's no reason to be upset. So they'll be the 2 I would keep. The grizzlies, they do great at 25 yards at home in my Crossman. So that's 45 yards with a Canadian Tire beeman, guys. Take from it whatever you like. I'm super glad I did this. Now I know my realistic spread, and it's really not so horrible. It would just, with more practice. But I don't think I'm going to be out here that many times in the summer. If I do come back, I'll have the marker right here for 40 yards, and that's where I'll be shooting max range, I think. Well, everybody, it's been a nice afternoon. It's been a long video. Thanks for tagging along. Next time we'll be at home. Makes me appreciate my little range at home, I tell you that. Just being able to take out my stuff, sit down, go back in when I'm done 15 minutes later. This was a whole day of planning, packing, and traveling. I'm done. See you next time.